The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine, brought to you by Gillette, the official razor of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Friday, July 27th. It's an off day here for the Cowboys. Not an off day for the sunshine here in Oxnard, California. Not an off day for the mowers. Kind of back here. We didn't have that the other day, and that was one of the reasons why we wanted to move this show a couple hours later, is to kind of get away from the mowers at most of the days. But on this off day here, our friends Mo Claiborne back in action. That's all right, though. I can hear you guys. I'll be able to hear you guys great when the phone line should be all working. We had a little bit we had some issues on a Wednesday for our first show, to be expected though. But now we're back, ready to roll, and let's keep this thing going. Cowboys Storyline. This is season 3, the second episode of season 3, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. As you'd heard that, we're happy that Gillette is our new sponsor. All right, let's go to the line. Let's get us started here. Zach in Atlanta's first. Zach, what's up?
What's up, Nick in Frisco by way of Oxnard? How are you, man?
That's right, man. I'm good. I am really, really good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm great, man. Excited for training camp, aren't we all?
Yes.
But it's great to have the show back. Loved hearing the first show, and I checked in on the spaces on Twitter last night. So, yeah, it's exciting, man. One note and then one question for you. I want to keep the calls moving. So, one, obviously Micah's deal is in the balance. I think it's going to get done.
Yeah.
But I'm already looking ahead with Tyler Smith. I think Deron Bland is up for a contract. And outside of just seeing how Shoddy navigates things, I'm most excited for CD and George Pickens to do their thing. But I'm already looking ahead and like, man, this George Pickens thing might be a rental. Like, we kind of saw that with the exchange of the third-round pick and the comp pick if he goes. So I'm like, hey, enjoy the ride. I'm going to love me some CD and George Pickens with a healthy Dak. The line looks really good. And that's it, man. We're fans. I want to see the highlights. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
We haven't won a Super Bowl in 30-something years. I've never seen it. And so I'm just like, hey, I live for the ups and downs and the fun of the season. This season, I'm looking forward to just a crazy passing game. So that's where I'm coming in today and for this season. But question for you, first 3 practices, what jumps off the page? Like, first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all I got, man. It's so good to hear from you. And thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate that. What stands out to me, and this is without having arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL on the field in Micah Parsons, but what stands out is the energy and the speed that you're seeing from the defense. And the defense flying around the ball. That kind of happens a little bit early in training camp. Defense is usually a little bit ahead of the offense, especially when you're installing that. But I just liked what you see, the energy. They're knocking the ball out. Eberflus's defense have always been really good at turnovers, and you can kind of see why. They do a really good job of getting the ball out of the offensive out of their hands and getting it on the ground. It's always hard to tell what's really happening, in a practice where there's no tackling. I mean, you see a running back catch a screen in the flat. Javonte Williams catches it, and here comes a cornerback. Here comes Kaiir Elam, and he runs up and kind of taps him on the shoulder, and then they all start yelling, and they say, ooh, I got you, Who's to say he would have tackled him? You know what I mean? That's one thing. You got to be physical. You got to bring him down. But as far as what we can see, we see energy, we see them flying to the ball, and we actually see them getting the hands on the ball, getting interceptions, forcing fumbles, and things like that. So that, to me, is what's standing out. Your other stuff, you're kind of all over the place with contracts and excitement and all that, which is great. This is a good time of year for all that. The Cowboys do have a lot of players going into their final year of their contract. So you can't franchise them all, obviously. You got to save that franchise for Mike if you're not going to get it done, which I still think that they will. But, you still, after that, you couldn't franchise all of them. So Tyler Smith is actually this is not the last year of his deal. he could have a fifth-year option after that. So he's not necessarily in that boat, but maybe still a guy you wouldn't mind locking up sooner than later, for sure. All right, let's go to Brian in Kansas City is next. Brian, what's up, bud?
Hey, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I just got done telling Chris you didn't have the mowers to fight with, and I guess now you do, huh?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, usually this is not a practice day, so maybe they gave the mowers a little bit of a later day to mow. But when it was told, do you want to do the 8, 9, or 10 o'clock? I was like, give me the 10. But it's fine. You know what I mean? I think we have a good headset here. Got a good. I can hear you guys perfectly. So I think it'll be fine.
That's awesome. And I was telling Chris last year we really don't hear it that bad on our end.
Okay.
So I know it's hard for you guys, but it doesn't. The filters or whatever they got working, it doesn't come through real bad on our end.
Yeah, it's all good. So what you
hey,
got?
So I'm going to just ask the obvious because it just happened. And then I'm going to give you a throwback because I haven't done it in a while.
Uh-huh.
But the obvious question for training camp is, when we hear somebody has an ankle injury, and that's what we heard about Steele. It can be anything from 2 days to 2 months if it's the dreaded high ankle. So
Sure.
Just any update you have on that.
Yeah.
And then for my old throwback, I want to take you back to a 2010 game in the Garrett administration at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's John Kitna versus Peyton Manning. In that game, there were 2 interceptions returned for a touchdown. Do you remember who they were? And I'll hang up and listen, my friend.
All right. Thanks for the call, Brian. Yes, I do remember that game. And if you're still on the line, I'd ask you who won the game. The pick sixes were Sean Lee and Orlando Scandrick. The guy who won the game was David Beeler, the game-winning field goal to win that game. I like Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a cool place. That was an interesting game with Peyton Manning obviously playing, and he was really good. And the Cowboys that wasn't a great team, obviously, but that was when Garrett was the he was the head coach there for the interim head coach for a few games there down the stretch, and they were playing better. They defense was playing a lot better, at that time of year, and they got those 2 pick sixes, 38-35, something like that. I think that was the score. It's pretty high. It was a high-scoring game. Another thing that happened in that game was Des Bryant got hurt, if I remember, on a kickoff return. And that kind of changed a lot of their mindset on taking star players and putting them on kickoff returns and punt returns and things like that, because he was a rookie. He was having a great year already, but he got hurt, I believe, on a kickoff return. So kind of changed some of that dynamic there too. All right, we're going back to the phone lines. I'm going to check and see who it is. It is Shelby in Virginia, heading to the airport. Shelby, I just talked to you yesterday.
Yes, yeah, we stopped by and said hello. We're at the airport ready to go home. A note to the fans, what an experience. I cannot recommend Oxnard enough. Just tons of players saying hello, stopping by. So much fun. And thanks for taking some time to say hello.
Sure. That was great. Now, how early did you have to get here to get that spot? You had a pretty nice spot there, right on the fence line.
It wasn't too bad. The first day we got there, cripplingly early. I think we thought the doors opened sooner, so we were just there 2 hours, right at the front of the line.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were maybe 20 minutes before doors opened. We got great spot there on the fence. Also, I've got Blair from Virginia with me.
It was awesome, and watching the plays and the players practice was fantastic. Great experience, and from everything we know about the StoryLiners fans, you need to come out to camp and witness it for yourself. It's a great time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we've each got a question, if that works.
Yeah, let's go for it.
You go ahead.
Okay, so I'll start off with mine. Towards the end of practice, I started to notice, I was trying to piece together what it meant, but I kept seeing defensive players sort of form a U with their arms and flap their arms, and then I saw Shoddy doing it, and it happened on a few plays, and I couldn't tell the common theme of what they were, if it was a play call, if it was some type of odd celebration. So I was wondering if you had any insight on that.
It's not the seatbelt, right? It's not the seatbelt celebration, right? That's not what you're
No,
referring to.
no. Yeah, the arm stayed above, like by the head the whole time. It was like a sort of making a U with your arms next to your head, and then like going forward and back up. It was strange. I should have taken a video.
Yeah, I don't think I'm cool enough to answer that. I don't know. I don't know what that is, and maybe they don't want us to know that. But I can't picture that in my mind. But then I'm probably gonna have somebody go, you know what that is? It's something. I don't know. If Chris Beam doesn't know, then I don't think. Huh?
We'll look out for it tomorrow,
All right.
or today, I guess.
I'll have an answer you know what? I have a feeling I'll have an answer at the break. After the break, I'll have an answer for that.
And I had a question for you. I've noticed, I think even Irene asked this earlier this week, but there have been several times we hear storylines about players coming in heavier or lighter for whatever reason, and how it'll impact their game. And I wondered if you had any examples where players have done that either way, and it actually has made a difference, because I hear this kind of storyline all the time, but I don't know how it plays out in the regular season.
And then real quick, if we could tack on one more question and hop off air. Just your most memorable training camp signing that happened while you were there, that we can let others call in.
All right. Thanks for the call. Training camp signing. They've. I remember Tyron Smith signed in the middle of camp. Honestly, the most memorable is not one that y'all are gonna remember. It was on this show when we interviewed Malik Hooker. It was the first year when we didn't have phone calls. Malik Hooker comes over, sits right here, and we had players, and that was not a bad thing either. We didn't have the phone line, but we got players to come in, and we were talking, how's it going? How's this season been? Adapting to the Cowboys. I think I even asked him about this being a contract year. Yeah, just focused on all that. And 20 minutes after the show, news broke that he just agreed to terms on a 3-year extension, and we were like, seriously? That can't get brought up at all? I mean, I blame the guy asking the question, me. Maybe I could have done a little better job there, but man, a little help? But no, didn't work out. That's okay. As far as the weight part of it, guys move in and out. I mean, it's really about what they're asking them to do. As I just dropped my phone, as what they're asking to do and what kind of position that they're going to play. The guy that I always think of, there's two guys I can think of that moved back and forth all the time, and a lot of the time based off of was the position they were playing. But Tyrone Crawford's the first one that comes to mind, because sometimes he was an end rushing the passer off the edge. Sometimes they had him sliding inside and playing defensive tackle. And so, different body set. And so you got a guy, he's got to be big enough, he's going to play him inside, that he's going to get trucked every play if he's not, pushing 300 pounds and has that kind of strength. But then if you're like, oh, we have a lot of tackles, you know what, Tyrone will move you to the outside. Well, why aren't you getting off the edge? Well, that's because you got me at 298 here, and I'm my whole offseason was for a different reason. So these tweeners sometimes, guard, tackle, defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, defensive end. I mean, it sounds good to have that position flex as long as your body can handle it. As long as you've done the preparation beforehand to get there, and it's not as easy. That's why Zach Martin, as great as he is, Zach Martin did not want to play tackle. He was very adamant about that, because he knew that he was going to have to be different. He couldn't just play in the same kind of level that he would have probably figured it out, would have been okay. I think he would have been a good tackle. I really do. I don't think he would have been a Hall of Fame tackle. I say that, and I know that's tough to say because what Zach Martin could or couldn't do, but I really believe that. All right, let's go to Anthony in Miami. Anthony, what's up, man?
See, Boomer and Nick the Quick, what's up, my guys?
How you
what's
doing?
Happening? I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. How you been?
Oh, can't complain at all.
That's what it is, man. I told Beam I stopped at work. I missed you on Wednesday, so I'm going to work, and I just pulled over to the gas station, to the mobile, and said, let me just try it, and I got in. I'm shocked.
Nice.
So, hey, man, listen here. I had some pet cats, what Brian calls them. I stole that from him. But, unherited guys, and that was last year. And they were Rico Dowdle, Jalen Tolbert, Remember I told you that Juwan Thomas, and I was like, those guys don't get the shine, but I need them to step up. And you kind of agreed and said these guys are going to have to be the guys because we can't get those big names.
Yeah.
So they did pretty good.
Yeah.
One led in touchdowns, one led in rushing. So I did pretty good on that.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing Juwan back because he's going to be Juwan Thomas is just going to be my breakout star. I don't know if it's going to happen this year or next year, but I just see it in him. So I'm bringing him back, and I'm adding 3 more guys to that, and then I'll hang up. Those guys are Miles Sanders. I don't know why these people are down on Miles Sanders. Man, Miles Sanders is going to shock y'all.
Yeah.
He's going to shock a lot of people. You agree?
Yeah, I kind of think I've been asked who I think is going to win the running back thing, and he's the guy I'm picking. Even though I see Javonte out there a little bit more, Miles is the guy. I don't know. I just I'm kind of like you on that. I just feel like he's going to do something there.
Yeah, just 3 years ago, the man was how many umpteen touchdowns and 1,269 yards? Come on, man. He's not washed up. He's only 27.
He had a really good offensive line. He had a good offensive line, and Philly did not have that in Carolina.
Yeah,
I think he's going to have that again in Dallas. And so with that being the case, I think he's going to have a big role. I believe that.
Exactly. Okay, here's the last 2. We're going to bring Marshawn Neilan.
Yeah.
You know he's at the market. He's not going to probably get the sacks, but man, he's gonna set that edge, and continue to when he gets in there. Because I don't know if he's gonna start, but when he gets in there, whatever, he's gonna set it. And man, I love the interview here with the young lady, Nicole. I like this guy.
Yeah.
And last but not least, a guy, because I'm part Texan now, a guy that's from my dad's hometown, Missouri City, Texas, Houston, Kenneth Murray Jr.
Okay.
Don't sleep on him, people. Please don't sleep on him. He's gonna be bad. He should be starting at linebacker. He's gonna bring some experience to it. So I'm ready, Nick. I'm ready, man.
Those are good. Those are
good. Those are good ones?
Yeah, Miles and Murray, both those guys are veterans that they're bringing in. They got a little something to prove. I mean, everybody has something to prove, but in their own way. And then Neiland as well. Neiland gets an interception off of Dak first practice, I believe. His job is not going to be to get interceptions. Like you said, his job may not even be first and foremost to get sacked. It's going to be setting the edge and playing a run. But he gets an interception there in his first practice. But I think what that is, it shows the awareness, number one, and also the ability to drop it and flexibility to move around. So good choices. I hope they need those guys. They really do. They need cheap. I say this all the time. They need cheap superstars, guys that are cheap in their contract, but they're going to take it to another level and be a superstar. They need those guys for sure. Those would be great. All right, let's go to Rick in Massachusetts is next. Rick.
How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. It's working. Time difference type thing.
Cool.
But the couple questions I have had, I've heard from Brian Broaddus, whatever, is that they might be, not looking for trying to use the one tech, but use maybe the one tech into using the gaps instead, and just having Solomon Thomas and Mozzie and a few other people just switching in and out like that. The other thing too is my favorite free agent player that they picked up would I think is look out for Jack Sanborn.
Yeah. I mean, he has a chance to be really good for sure.
And doesn't Donovan Azlato and them guys on the line without Micah, they look like to be forced to work with like that. So either when Micah comes in, it's going to be a lot more tougher.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this is the time when you get those opportunities for sure. These guys that aren't playing, and they'll get a chance to do some things as well.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Rick.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to break here real quick on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back after this. Josh.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together, we cry together, And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Nick Eatman, Friday, July 25th on Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. We had 5 callers so far. We had 5 the last show, so we're flying around here, doing a little bit better this time, as I knew we would. Let's go to our phone line with Brandon in Fresno, California. Brandon, what's up, man?
What's up, Nick? I seen you on Tuesday, the first day. We were talking right there on the sideline.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You said, are you coming to the practice?
Probably tomorrow. Yes, I'll probably be there tomorrow. I probably won't be on that same side. I'll probably be on the opposite side.
Got it.
But I'll be there. You promised me that Yeti. No, I just wanted to say, man, it was a pleasure meeting you, and it was awesome just to get contact with you and stuff like that, and love the show, and glad the show's back on and everything. I just enjoyed the day. I just wanted to say I enjoyed the energy from first day of training camp, man. It just seemed like from last couple training camps I've been there, you can see the energy just picking up.
Right.
One thing that I did pick up is that it seemed like Overshown was like really like working, you know. So it seems like he might be back sooner than what people think.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I mean, I don't know what people think there. I mean, it's Overshown thinks he could play right now, and so that's the thing you've got to be kind of careful with. But I've heard everything as far as him not playing at all this year to, maybe 4 or 6 weeks into the season. I don't know. I mean, he, but he's moving around pretty good, and he's paying attention just like Micah is on the sideline. That's what's great. So they're getting those mental reps.
Yeah, I seen them working right there in the front, right there on the first day, by themselves, Overshown, and it was Micah, and I think it was one more linebacker over there.
Yeah.
But they were getting there working. So I just, again, like I said, it was a pleasure meeting you. It was awesome. Like I said, hopefully I can see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I always give you a number.
Okay.
59. Dat Win.
Yeah.
You got a story about him?
Well, other than
and I'll hang up and I'll listen.
I appreciate it. The only story about Dat Win, most recent, is when I was trying to remember the phone line just now to tweet out the the phone, and I was trying to remember in my head, so I said 1659. So I was like, Ryan Leaf, Dat Win in my head. That's what I said. That was about like 30 minutes ago. Dat Win story. My favorite Dat Win story is the one he tells about being his very first practice that they put him out there. In his rookie year, he got to be in an OTA or whatever they called them back then, and he was out there with all the veterans, and they put him there, and they're like, Dak, you're right in the middle. And they break the huddle, and he turns, and he looks, and he sees he's staring right at Troy Aikman, and then right behind him is Emmett. And then there's Michael Irvin going in motion, Daryl Johnston, and he was like, oh, my God, I cannot believe the Dallas – hi! And they snapped the ball, and he's staring right at. He didn't even move. And Campo ripped him a new one so bad. Zimmer, all those guys over there. He was like, "Are you not ready for this?" Because he really was lost in the moment. But he figured it out, and he was a really good player. And another story I remember about him is, and this is something that I actually kind of adapt into life, leadership, and things like that. I remember Bill Parcells telling a story about First of all, he didn't want Datwin or Dexter Coakley because they were too small. They were not Pepper Johnson. They were not Harry Carson. They were not the linebackers he remembers, Gary Reason from the Giants. They were too small to play in the NFL. And then Zimmer was like, why don't you just give him a chance? And then he loved him. He loved Dat, and he loved Coakley, and because they were really good players. But he said something about Datwin. He said, he's one of those guys that he's so good, you don't even worry about. You don't even think about. You don't even have to go over and ask her, you doing okay? How you doing? How you feeling? Did you get that yesterday? Well, they're so good. He's like, you got to be careful with people like that because you can't. They all need love and attention. They all need some of that. And he was one of those guys that I had to remind myself, even if you think he's great, make sure and check in on him. And I think about that just in life, even your friends, your coworkers, things like that. People that you're like, they're always good. They're always in. They still should probably check in and see how they're doing. Still make sure everything was good. I always remember that story, and I kind of think about it. So that's probably not the football story you were thinking of, but that's what comes to mind for me. All right, let's go to Coach Ty in D.C. is our next caller. Coach Ty.
What's going on, Nick? How you doing, my guy?
How you doing, man?
I can't complain. Nick, I got a couple things, but I'm going to start. I'm in D.C., and I've called a couple times. I think the last time I talked to you, it was I was talking to you about one of my students who's shorter than everything that's talking trash to me about the Commanders. So, and he's going to 8th grade this year, which is amazing.
Oh,
so anyway.
Okay.
But, yeah. But so my comment today is about the division, man. And the division, to me, is up for grabs. And I say that because I think everybody looks at what the final result is, and nobody takes into context how you get to the result. Because context makes everything, or it explains the story. So, long story short, I ain't gonna hold you. The Dallas Cowboys last year, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Injuries, all of the above, everything that went wrong last year.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys still won 7 games last year. With all of the stuff that happened, we still won 7 games. And I'm speaking specifically to the division because, of course, I'm listening to national TV and all that stuff. And they're talking about, well, the Dallas Cowboys can't run the ball. They can't stop the run, yada, yada, yada. Last year, we finished 29th in run defense. You know who was 30th? The Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
The Washington Commanders won 5 games by 1 point last year, and one being a Hail Mary that happens once in a blue moon. Okay? Number 3. On top of that, when the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys played each other, the Dallas Cowboys won the game.
So what's
with the backup quarterback?
Right.
With the backup quarterback, and in the last game had the 3rd-string quarterback playing, and was 6 seconds away from winning that game. So I find it hard-pressed being in D.C. to believe that the Washington Commanders are head over heels better than the Dallas Cowboys when we didn't have half of our team, including our starting quarterback, not playing. Am I off?
No, you're not at all. I don't think Washington was a better football team than the Cowboys. I don't care who would be sitting right here to say that. That's a fact. They played twice. They weren't better than the Cowboys both times. So record-wise, better. How far that they went, much further. I give them all that. But line them up and play. And who was better? Both times.
Exactly.
And so,
go ahead.
No, you're right. Go ahead. You're right. Nothing.
So we're going off of course, and everybody's going to go off of what happened last year. But nothing plays out from last year the way that it's going to play out this year. So kick the ball. We have a motto at my school: put the ball down. Mm-hmm. We don't care.
Yeah.
Put the ball down, and we'll figure out what's going to happen 2.5 hours later.
Exactly. No, you're not wrong there. Washington fans, they had a good season. They had a good run. I think somebody explained or compared it to me very similar to what the Cowboys had in 2016 with Dak as the rookie, and they just caught lightning in a bottle, and they had a lot of wins.
Absolutely.
You run it back and you play it again, and maybe they're 10-6, maybe they're 9-7. They were 13-3. It was a magical season, but you play that season again for Washington. Give them credit for winning the games. Give them credit for winning those football games, but. They had way more wins like that than they had losses that were close. And so I don't think that when you say this team's 7-10, this team made the NFC Championship game, I don't think that the margin is that great as it sounds when you're talking about how different those two seasons were.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping.
You're not at all. But here's the big thing.
Who's knowledgeable about it.
Okay, but if you're going to say that, and you're going to say based off of those two games and how close they were, that's great. But if you're also, you got to remember this, Philadelphia was 85-13. 85-13. Philadelphia beat them last year, or something like that.
Yes.
80-30. So that's where they got to close the game.
Both games without Dak, though, Nick.
True. I mean, one game.
Both games without Dak, and history has shown Dak Prescott, in my opinion, is still the best quarterback in this division. Yeah. It's pure quarterback. Jaden Daniels is not enough sample size. I'm sorry. I don't care. They said the same thing about C.J. Stroud last year, and then he regressed back to the mean. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what defenses do when they got a year of tape on Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay? The Eagles, and speaking of them, again, they played 2 games against us last year without Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has a winning record against the Philadelphia Eagles in his career.
Well, you're right, and he didn't play.
I'm not taking anything away. I can't stand Philly, Washington, or the Giants. Okay? Don't like none of them.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Philly. They won. They won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. Keep it moving. But if you're sitting here telling me, and one as a coach, if you're sitting here telling me that we can't compete and we're just automatically third in this division, miss me with that.
No. I hear you. All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. You're not off on that, and don't let those 8th graders talk crap to you, man. Boy, that's an age though. Good luck with that one. You're dealing with the smartest people in the world, and people that are going into the 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade. Whew, genius. All right, good stuff. I mean, I'm with you on that, but I'm also like a realist as well. Like they're gonna have to show it again, and they're gonna have to show that they are healthy. Do I think that they can do this? Do I think this thing's gonna hold up? I hope so. But there's a little Cowboys banner here that's flying around. I think that potentially the Cowboys they're right there. They're still right there with Washington. I thought they were last year when they played. They are not, though, with Philadelphia. And you're right, Dak wasn't there. So Dak has to prove he can be there. They have to prove that they've made up a difference there. I love Dak, but it's 80-13, something like that. He's not that good. Not for that. Not to change those margins. Now, but I understand how football goes. You score. You score in the first quarter. You get that touchdown in the second quarter. You make it a game. It's a completely different football game. I understand that. I understand how a play or two here and there can change everything and change it from getting it to a blowout. But I just think they have a long ways to go to kind of catch up to Philly. Having Dak and having healthy guys on that offensive line and having Micah play most all the season would be great too. Getting some more turnovers. So there's some things that have to happen, though. And Washington's going to get better. You got to remember that. Washington's going to get better. Dan Quinn's a really good coach. We know this. Jaden Daniels, if he's the dude that he looks to be, then he's going to get better, And so they were pretty even with Washington last year, very even with Washington. Can they stay that way, And because Washington's going to get better, have the Cowboys gotten better too? And be careful for the Giants. You can't just keep getting top 5 picks and expect them not to be good at some point. That defensive line looks salty over there. I mean, they have a potential front four that would be the best in the league, especially if Abdul Carter is as good as he seems to be. And you go across the board with all their defensive line, that's pretty scary. So, and that's the kind of stuff that can win you games. We saw them win Super Bowls with defensive line and not really because of their offense and their quarterback. So all that to say the NFC East is going to be really, really tough. All right, Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma, before we go to break.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you doing?
Man, not bad, not bad. Been trying to get in like everybody else. I'm just glad we back on the radio where we can talk about this and
that's right.
and rejoice and be mad all at the same time.
All at the same time. Yep. What's up, man?
Other than that, man, I was just calling. I know it's a couple days into it, so I can't really ask a whole bunch. I just wanted to see what you thought about these last couple days, like an overview of how it's been going with the conferences and talks and stuff. Like, how has anything surprised you or shocked you in these couple days? And I'll take it off air, and I'll call when I can.
Well, what has surprised you before? I mean, what is something that has surprised you?
To me, I always, like, I was listening to Rob the other day, and when it comes to Mr. Jones, I love him to death. But Lord, sometimes I feel like he talks way too much crap about the players. And I know that it's part of the game. Sometimes you got to read between the lines. Mm-hmm. Like the Michael Parsons thing, we've seen that with Dez. We've seen it with Dak. We've seen it with DeMarcus. We've seen it with all kinds of people. To me, the biggest thing that was surprising is the way he was talking about Diggs. And so that kind of threw a wrench in there, like, hey, if this doesn't work out for Diggs, I can see him doing the Amari Cooper thing. Like, hey, I figure it out at the end of the year, and you got to go. That's how I looked at it in a sense. It may not be that way, but that's kind of what I heard.
Yep.
And outside of that, all the players say the same thing. And then the interview with Prescott and Diggs. I mean, not Prescott, Micah and Diggs. Yeah. That was entertaining. It was entertaining. It surprised me because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining, say the least. Other than that, man, like I said, it's been kind of tough. You see the videos when you can, see the interviews when I can. But those are the two things that kind of stood out to me as far as surprises.
All right. So I was a little surprised. Thanks for the call, Lewis. I was a little surprised to see Micah and Diggs do a joint interview like that, and they're the two guys that were a big part of yesterday or the day before's press conference, and you're asking questions to both of them, and they're answering each other's questions, and Micah's eating watermelon and sitting there. I mean, the whole thing was a little weird, but it was good. It was entertaining, like you said. I don't know what's been surprising though. I mean, not really anything of yet. I mean, pads haven't come on yet, so it's not like real football practice yet. But this is kind of an extension of the OTAs and mini camps and things like that, just bringing it out here. So we haven't really seen a whole lot yet. A little chippy for it, weather not to be that hot and for there not to be pads on. A lot of energy. And when that happens, you get good energy. And I'm not saying you get bad energy, but you just get energy. You put a bunch of kids together, and rambunctious kids that are, drinking a lot of Pepsi and Mountain Dew all day long, then they're probably going to have fun and be crazy. And then every once in a while, they might get a little scuffle. And that's kind of what we're seeing out here. I think our media team's going to put together something here on Brian Schottenheimer. He was mic'd up in yesterday's practice. That's something we're working on. You're going to like it. You're gonna like it, just like most of you guys like what you've seen so far to Brian. I mean, he's been really good in off season with the media. He's entertaining. He's cool to listen to. I'm telling you, like you'll like the version that we put out. You would like the HBO Hard Knocks version a lot better if that were to be the case. He's not afraid to tell people what he thinks. His players, his coaches. If you think there's a honeymoon factor here with him and kind of easing into it, that's over. He's ready to roll, and it was cool to watch. I I would love for the fans to be able to see everything that we saw, but that's not exactly how it goes. But it still is pretty good. Chris, what do we think? Are we going to go to break, or we got a couple more callers? Let's keep the calls. Keep the calls going. We got Chris in San Angelo, Texas. Chris, what's up?
Mr. Nick, how is Oxnard treating you right now?
Oxnard is great, my friend.
There you go. That's good to hear.
How are you doing?
You know what? Well, San Angelo, it's like it's a little bit like Groundhog Day right now, but
I gotta send out a tweet here later today because that reminds me, San Angelo, which is Angelo State, is in San Angelo, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And that they're in the Lone Star Conference.
Yes, sir.
Chris is laughing at me. I'll send out a tweet later. I'm not gonna bore people with my awards here. I'll send it out later. Anyways, just follow Twitter.
Hey, I went there, but I'm not that.
You're not there.
I don't hold much allegiance to it, so.
It's okay. All right. All good. All right, Chris. What do you got?
Here I go. I was talking about I want to talk about wide receivers. Obviously, CD and Pickens are there, and it's a lot more fun looking for a number 3 than it is a number 2. So that's all good. But with that being said, I haven't heard a whole lot about who might be front running for, I guess, the most playing time, not necessarily the number 3. I haven't heard much out from like Wingo or Holden or even Campbell. I haven't heard anything about him. So I was just wondering if you just eyeball or word that you've heard that if anyone's kind of coming to the forefront on that.
Yeah. What a great problem to have for them. I mean, they do. I don't know. I mean, I see Tolbert making plays. I see Mingo making some plays. He's finally getting passes thrown his direction. That's nice. Turpin's going to be out there. Turpin's doing stuff. Those 5 guys are, I feel like, those are the leaders. And I'm, obviously CD and Pickens. Those first 2, and then after that, nobody has really stood out too much. Flanoy gets some reps here. I feel like I'm missing a player or 2, but it's really those 5. Those 5 are the guys that they didn't. I don't think they drafted a receiver. They got Holden from Oregon as an undrafted player. Cropper, Terrence Cropper's been here 3 years. He does a pretty good job. He'll make some plays here and there, but that room's gonna be tough for anyone to kind of get in there because I just think they like what they have with Tolbert, Mingo, and Turpin in a 3-4-5. I'll take that 3-4-5 against a lot of people in the league's 3-4-5. If you think about it, 3, 4, and 5 receivers, those 3. Now you say that and you add them with the 1 and 2s that you could go up against anyone else in the league. So 1 to 5, it's really strong. It's probably the deepest position they've got, and that's great. And not only do they have them on the roster, they're having them out here at practice. I'm ready to see CD just do a Micah. I'm done. I've seen what I need to see with CD. I'm good. I know it's good to get the reps and get the continuity and all that, and you need that at times, but he looks good, man. CD looks ready to roll. Like he's ready for the season to start.
All right.
All right.
That's awesome to hear. Nick. So I appreciate you going into that. And hey, the Yeti is beautiful. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
No problem. Glad you like it. I hope everybody got theirs. I know one person didn't. We're working on that, but hopefully everybody else. I didn't see any get returned in the mailroom, so they should be there. There may be one that we're missing there. But all right, let's keep it going. Jeremy, Salt Lake City.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you been?
Good. What's on your mind?
Good. Never heard if your daughter ended up going to Oklahoma. I know we talked about that because mine does, but
yes,
I never.
She is there.
She's gonna be there this.
Yes, she will be going in a couple of weeks. That is the case. That is going to change our world right there in my pocketbook. But no, it's great.
Yeah,
for her.
definitely, man. I feel you there.
Yeah, they don't cut corners on anything. No, but she's super excited, and that's just I can't believe I have a daughter going to college. But I also have one going to kindergarten. So how about that?
Yeah, well, you got me beat there, man. She's my last one, so. But
I don't know if I'm winning.
I just kind of. Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to. You guys kind of touched on what I want to talk about, like some of our positions that we were kind of thin on last year. I'm looking through my Star magazine, by the way. My training camp edition, which is awesome, and thanks guys for putting that out. But man, I'm looking at some of these positions, especially like receiver you guys just talked about, but running back and defensive end. Man, we're going to be putting some good players on the street.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how, especially with that defensive end position, and it's such a commodity. Do you see any, I don't know if we had possible trade capital or something we can do with some of these players? Because I would hate to see some of these guys out on the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see how Deuce makes it. I don't. But at the same time, I was watching drills the other day, and he's got the best feet of all of the running backs.
He's out there. He's playing.
That's out there. So I just kind of want to know your opinion on that on those kind of two positions, especially.
The thing about Deuce is that I think he's always going to look great out here in these practices, especially when you're not getting tackled. He's always going to look great against backups in preseason games. I think where he's got to really turn the corner and be the man is to play against real NFL players that tackle. I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny about it. I'm just saying, we've seen that. We've seen him excel. But when in the regular season games, when he's had limited times, he hasn't had a lot, but there's probably reasons for that because he's not really doing it in practice either against those kind of competitions. He's got to take it to another level, and so he's going to have to stand out here in practice, preseason, and then if they decide to keep him, he's going to have to shine and actually jump his game to that next level. But you're right, he's quick. He's doing something. Now he had a chance to make a catch in the back of the end zone. It was Milton was rolling. Scrambling on a goal line drill, and he had Deuce going at the back of the end zone, kind of streaking from one side to the other, and would have been a great play. He just dropped it, and he knows it. He knows that he needed that one, but he's getting opportunities for sure. All right, let's go to break here real quick on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back after this.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Welcome back to beautiful Oxnard, California. So beautiful with the sun here today. I wasn't expecting it to be this sunny right now, but it is certainly nice. We're not complaining. Not complaining about the weather. A lot of you guys are dealing with the triple digits. We are not. It's been a little toasty right now here for the last hour, but it's been a lot of fun to talk to you guys. And let's keep it going real quick before we end it. Lester in Minnesota is next. Lester, what's up, bud?
Hey Nick, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I celebrated a birthday yesterday. I tried to get on Wednesday, but I didn't have a new number.
I'm sorry. Wednesday would have been a challenge for you and everyone to get on. It wasn't the easiest show to participate in. But happy birthday or belated birthday. And
Thank you, my brother.
What do you got for me?
Hey, man. Hey, I just wanted to say a few little points here. I'm hearing a lot of good things about the DN that we drafted. Seems like you got that bend that we looking for, the bend and the go get 'em.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I want to see the hula hoop drill that DeMarcus Ware had with him, and I want to see that because nobody did it better than D. Ware. But I'm telling you, as a Raku, you're right about that. He is kind of bendy that way. It's good.
Yeah, it's like Gumby, man. If you can bend like
That's what
that,
I was trying to think of.
the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, it's good too because he's getting that opportunity with Micah out, and the only thing about Micah being out, like I'm fine with it, because he's not missing too much. I don't want to hear, wow, Steele looks great, and Guyton looks great this year. Like, all right, block Micah 3 times in a row and without the quarterback having to stop the drill, and then we'll see how we're doing. You know what I mean? So that's what practice is for.
Yeah.
You want your best players to go up. Iron sharpens iron. You want to see that. So
that's right.
It's going to be hard to do that. And I just remembered I didn't answer a question earlier about Terrence Steele, so I'll do that here in a second. But what else you got?
Lawrence Fowl, how's he looking? How's Booker looking? And my last thing is man, I'm real excited about this Pickens. Like I said, man, I looked up his stats. He got a 98 catch radius. It's only 98 out of 100, man. That's Randy Moss type. I'm not saying he is Randy Moss. I'm just saying anything near him, he's going to go get.
Love it.
No matter where it is. And
Love
that's
it.
exciting.
That is exciting. Who was your first player you said before Booker?
Lowenthal.
Leofow. Sorry.
Leofow. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Leofow.
Sorry, you got me. Yeah, I was confused a little bit. Leofow. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that stuff like that because then I'll say it, and then I say it, and then I'll get crucified for it. So, no. Maris Leofow. Okay, thanks for the call, Lester. Appreciate that.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a good day. All right. Leofow looks quick, man. He looks very, very alert to the ball. I mean, that's again, only so many things you can tell at this time of year, but he knows where he needs to be, and he's not the biggest looking linebacker in the world, but we just talked about Datwin and Dexter Coakley. He's not really on that level. He's a little taller than that, but he's not the biggest, but he does deliver a pop. And Overshown's kind of the same way. Those guys, I mean, they're not, they don't go out there and just, look like these Goliath type players, but they definitely have a way of hitting, and Leofow is doing that. I think he's doing nice. Booker, seems to be doing fine. Let's see what happens when the Pats come on. Let's see some one-on-one drills. I'm excited to see that. And then, like you said, George Pickens makes a highlight or two every day. And so is CD. So that dynamic duo looks really, really good. Let's go one more caller before we end it. Josh in Chicago. Josh, what's up, bud?
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Man, I'm so glad I got in today because I'm going to be in school for the next month, and I don't think I'm going to be able to call in at all. So,
all right. Well,
I'm glad to get in today.
I'm glad you did.
So I got 2 points and a quick shout out if I could, really quick.
Okay.
So my shout out is to Ali and Irene. They hooked me up with a Pope Leo rosary, so I just want to say thank you to both of them. That's so kind.
Okay.
And I love this community.
Yeah.
My biggest observation so far, most exciting thing I have to say is Agent Zero running down the sidelines all over Twitter the other day. I think he's playing this year.
I do too. Yeah, he'll play. He'll play this year. I don't know when, but he'll play. He's getting there.
I think he'll play in 2025, I'll say.
That's
my hope.
He'll play what?
I said in 2025. We won't have to wait till January for him.
No. He'll play this year. Yeah, I agree.
And then my biggest concern this year, right now, man, it's for you. You got to get a hat out there or something.
Getting kind of red-faced, huh? Yeah.
I'm concerned about that.
Yeah. Well, if that's your biggest concern, Josh, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you're living a great life. Great life. I love it.
Hey, I definitely am. Football's back. The White Sox are 5-1 since the break, man. I'm loving sports right now.
All right. All right. 5-1, huh? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
5-31
You have a great day.
since April, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right. That reminds me. You say that about Chicago. You're from Chicago, so that reminds me. I saw that meme. The Stacey King, a former OU great, but he was a journeyman big guy, and I forget the game where Michael scored 69 points against the Cavaliers, and he tweeted out, I'll never forget the game that me and Michael went for 70. He scored.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So,
we won 70 or whatever. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So no, that's good. Hey, this is the time of year where you pull for other teams, and you know baseball. I mean, we're kind of keeping an eye on the Rangers. They're looking like they're doing pretty good too. But it's weird is once you get out here, you don't even see, even though with the phones and Twitter, and you still have a chance to kind of keep up with everything. Still, somehow, some way, we get lost in it, and you don't see a lot of stuff happening in the real world of life. So, but that's what.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
That's what's great about camp. But I love talking to you guys. Josh, thank you for the call. Thanks for wrapping it up for us.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, guys, this is the way the show is supposed to be. We're so happy that we were able to do that. Got 12 good calls in. Fought through the sun, which is beautiful. Fought through the mowers. They're not too bad today. Chris did a really good job, and nothing dropped on us, which is even greater. All right, we will. Yeah, the show's not over yet, but we're about there. We're getting there. All right, the schedule for us, we go Tuesday and Thursday of next week as well. We just keep this every other day. We don't do the weekends. Every other day. So we'll go Tuesday and Thursday of next week, and then that following week, which will be the first week in August, we will have 3 shows, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's when some of the storyliners are supposed to come out. So we'll figure out how we're going to get them participating as well. All right. For everyone, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!